please welcome Gabriel Sumayan Garcia, who will sing our national anthem. Please rise if you're able and remove your hats. Gabriel.
Hello. Hi, Mom and Dad. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Thank you.
Absolutely beautiful. Thank you, Gabriel, for that. All right, now please join me in welcoming the 11th Chancellor of the University of California, Berkeley, Carol T. Crist.
Got it. Let me begin by offering my heartfelt congratulations to you, the members of this remarkable and resilient graduating class. Though the fate saw fit to place unprecedented challenges in your path, you kept your eyes on the prize, you persevered, and you have prevailed. The successful completion of an undergraduate degree at Berkeley is challenging enough in the best of times. Given all that you have confronted and conquered, your presence here is testimony to a remarkable accomplishment whose meaning and worth will serve you well in the days to come. We could not be prouder. In so many ways, your resilience is a reflection of our campus as a whole. Ever since the pandemic's early days, we have seen a remarkable coming together of students, faculty, staff, and alumni in support of each other and our university. That resilience, those connections, that power of the campus community are the reasons why our university is emerging from these difficult days stronger than ever, and I believe that the same will hold true for you. While this is a day to celebrate your achievement, there's no time like now to express gratitude to and for everyone who has helped you arrive at one of life's great milestones. So let us also take a moment to celebrate and thank those who have supported and stood by you through thick and thin. Let us take this opportunity to express respect and appreciation for this university's extraordinary faculty and staff who have risen for you and together with you to meet and surmount unprecedented challenges and sustain Berkeley's character and quality. I know it took a lot of hard work on your part to get here. I know the toll these times have taken on you, your families, your friends, and the array of communities, large and small, that you belong to. Yet there's ample reason for hope. Behavioral and social science teach us that unsettled times of change and transformation have the potential to facilitate personal and societal learning, growth, and adaptation. We're living in a historic moment when everything is shifting about us in ways that will have a profound impact upon the future. This may be a perilous time, but so too, it's a time of creative ferment and possibility, and that's prime time for this public university and for you, our newest alumni. What animates Berkeley is our belief in and commitment to individual and institutional agency. The notion that through the discovery, development, dissemination, and discussion of knowledge, we can make the world a better place. We have before us extraordinary opportunities to extract and apply valuable lessons from all that we are witnessing and experiencing. These unprecedented times offer unprecedented opportunities for learning about ourselves, the communities and causes we draw strength, meaning, and support from, and about the role of the university in our lives, our nation, and the world. Now more than ever, the world needs all that you have to offer as the beneficiaries of a Berkeley education and experience, as change makers committed to advancing the greater good. Today, as you stand at one of life's great crossroads, take a deep breath, pause, reflect, and consider the road you've traveled and all that you can and will carry with you from Berkeley into your personal and professional futures. You've been taught how to learn by some of the world's great teachers. You value the truth and know it must be protected. You believe in science. You know that conventional wisdom can and must always be challenged in order to find a better way. You know how to thrive, not just survive, amidst a diversity of origins, identities, and perspectives. You emerge from a campus culture shaped by thousands of alumni who fought and fight for justice, equity, and inclusiveness. You're able to adapt and persevere in the face of challenge and hardship. I can only hope that you share the gratitude I feel for these attributes, values, and aspirations that form the foundation of all that Berkeley is and stands for. May your years ahead be richly rewarding and fulfilling, and may you enjoy much happiness. Hold tight to all the things you carry from Berkeley, and may they always serve you and the world around you well. We're immensely proud of what you have done, and even more of who you will become. Fiat lux, and go Bears! Now I have a few awards to present to some truly exceptional alums and students. First is the Chancellor's Citation, awarded to distinguished visitors, alums, and friends whose great achievements the university salutes and whose presence honors and benefits the campus. I have two citations to present today. To the Honorable Nancy Skinner, the California State Senator from District 9, and to the Honorable Phil Ting, the California State Assembly member from District 19, with grateful appreciation for their outstanding vision, legislative prowess, and distinguished record of service on behalf of the students of California. Nancy and Phil have displayed a commitment to public service that embodies the very mission of our university. Recently, they championed an exceptional solution to a complex legal problem that would have greatly limited access for thousands of our state's brightest students. When all hope was lost, Nancy and Phil brought together disparate groups to find a workable solution in record time, securing a unanimous vote in both chambers of the California State Legislature, allowing Berkeley to admit its full class for 2022. The university commends Nancy and Phil for their leadership and their unwearying dedication to furthering its excellence. Nancy, I present you with a Chancellor's citation and invite you to share a few words.
Graduates, I'm so pleased to be here with you. Thank you, Chancellor Christ, for this honor. It means so much to me, coming from my beloved alma mater. Like many of you, my parents did not attend college. So the opportunity to attend Cal offered me a gateway to a lifetime of activism, beginning with starting DECAL, to being a leader in the South Africa anti-apartheid divestment movement, to serving on the Berkeley City Council and organizing cities around the globe to fight our climate crisis, and now as your state senator. Cal was my foundation. It opened those doors for me. So when I learned that Berkeley neighbors, many of whom, like me, were graduates of Cal, were motivated by a NIMBY agenda and had gotten a court order to block thousands of students who had earned their rightful place to attend this university, I was mad. Mad because it was wrong in principle and because it wasn't what the law, an essential tool for environmental protection, was designed to be used for. And like all significant victories, securing those students' places took a village. So I want to thank my colleague, Assemblymember Ting. We're activists together and from former student government officers here at Cal. And I want to thank the leaders of our Senate and our Assembly and Governor Newsom for making it happen. So graduates, make good trouble. Go Bears.
Thank you, Nancy. Phil? I present you with the Chancellor's citation and invite you to say a few words.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you so much, Chancellor. So honored to be here with my Senate counterpart, Senator Nancy Skinner, and to do the incredible work that the people of California asked us to do. And what an amazing opportunity to help our alma mater, the best public university in the entire United States and the best university in this state of Let me just start off by congratulations to the class of 2022. You have all completed, congratulations class of 2022. You have all completed one of the most memorable chapters of your life. For me, everything I learned in life, I learned during my 4 years here at Berkeley. I learned about Asian American history and the history of so many Americans which were never told in our mainstream history books. I learned one person can make a difference, even if that one person is a student at a university of thousands. I learned our university and our country's greatest strength is our diversity. Our diverse communities are stronger together, which has been proven time and time again. Like so many of us here, Berkeley changed my life. I arrived an aspiring business major and left an act as an activist and a civil rights advocate, and more importantly, someone who is committed to making our state and our country a better place. So as you leave today and begin the next chapter of your life, you will all take a piece of Berkeley with you. I hope you will remember the life-changing opportunity you were given and pay it forward in whichever community you will live in. Enjoy today with your family and loved ones, and go Bears!
And now, I'd like to introduce the 2022 winner of the Peter E. Haas Public Service Award, which recognizes a Berkeley alum who has made significant voluntary contributions to the betterment of society. Here with us today is William Rogers, who graduated with a degree in rhetoric in 1991. William Rogers is a purpose-driven leader resolutely committed to advancing social, economic, and racial justice. With broad business, nonprofit, government, and foundation experience, he has devoted his career to creating stronger, more connected, and equitable communities. He's respected for building enduring, inclusive partnerships, leading with integrity, and delivering meaningful impact with sustainable results. As president and CEO of Goodwill, San Francisco Bay, William is leading the revitalization of the 106-year-old nonprofit and employment social enterprise. Under William's leadership, Goodwill offers transformative life opportunities through jobs, job training, and career services for thousands of people who are experiencing barriers to employment, including returning veterans, those with limited education, language or skill levels, people who were formerly incarcerated, are experiencing homelessness, have struggled with addiction, or people who have simply fallen on hard times. Under William's direction, Goodwill San Francisco Bay has fully invested in environmental sustainability practices, such as diversion of tens of millions of pounds from landfills every year, reuse of textile and electronic waste, and the deployment of an e-truck fleet that reduces carbon emissions by 400 tons each year. William's recent TEDx talk, "What Are You Doing with That Water in Your Closet?" presents practical ways for everyone to reduce negative impacts on the environment. And now, please direct your attention to the video boards.
So I want to tell you a story about an employee at Goodwill. They had a really rough upbringing. They wound up leaving home as a 16-year-old on the street for many months while they waited to get shelter. Through work and education, tried many different things, and they weren't able to succeed. And then that person wound up being able to turn their lives around. That person is now the president and CEO of Goodwill. So much of why I've chosen to be in public service has to do with circumstances of my life, because I needed a second chance multiple times. I started community college 4 times, and I dropped out 4 times. And there was always this counselor there who was awesome, and he would just say, "You're just not ready yet. Just don't give up." And the 5th time that I started, I don't even know why, but it clicked. I got pushed to run for student body president, and I did, and I won. I got into 2 schools. I got into UCLA and UC Berkeley. And so I had to make a choice. I always loved Berkeley. I always loved the freedom of thought. I felt like it was a place that I could be who I am. And wound up graduating from Berkeley with honors, then going on to get a master's degree.
Act up! Fight back! Fight A's!
I thought I was going to law school. And then in 1989, my uncle died of AIDS. I decided that I wanted to do something to stem the tide of the epidemic.
Fight back!
I wound up being stationed at Cole Street Youth Clinic, and I was helping youth with HIV get access to clinical trials. It was a lot. I mean, it was anything from helping people with housing to literally sitting with people in the Tenderloin with my arms around them because they were going to commit suicide, and you know, helping them get the help that they needed. I think when things get really hard in this sector, I really go back to purpose. When I was 16, my dad realized that I was gay, and that was not going to be acceptable in our household. I wound up having to make a decision about whether I was going to squash my spirit and who I am and stay, or whether I was going to leave and be true to myself. And so I made the choice to leave. The life experience was difficult, it was very hard, but it taught me something about resilience that I have been able to utilize throughout my life, and it's been really helpful. I think it's really important for people to bring their whole selves to work. Whatever your lived experience is part of the skill set that you're bringing to any job that you have. My dad, he wound up coming to the graduation, and the beautiful thing is that we were able to reconcile. When my dad died, one of my sisters, and she said, "You know, Dad, I think respected you most of all." And I said, "Why do you say that?" And she said, "Because you were always true to who you were." People a lot of times talk about the sacrifices of public service. I don't see it as a sacrifice. I choose this every single day.
How are you?
Because, well, it has meaning. It's meaningful to me.
Please join me in welcoming William Rogers. This is important.
This is important, okay.
So thank you. Thank you, Chancellor Christ. I am so grateful to receive this recognition today. Thank you, UC Berkeley, and to the faculty and administration at Cal for your enduring commitment to public education. I want to thank Lonnie Hancock and Tom Bates for nominating me, and I want to especially thank the Haas family for your unwavering commitment to community service. And graduates, all of your hard work and persistence has paid off. Today is your day to finally take it all in. You are graduates of UC Berkeley. Yes. It's an incredible privilege and a huge accomplishment to have earned a UC Berkeley education. And because none of us do it alone, today you get to celebrate with those who supported you through this journey. Y'all did it. Congratulations. Give yourself a hand. Now, you know this already, but we are living in extraordinary times. There is so much at stake for our planet, the world, our nation, and right here in our communities. And it would make sense if you felt a little anxious or fearful about what you're graduating into. I felt the same way in 1991 when I graduated into the AIDS epidemic, the Gulf War, and the beating of Rodney King that sparked protests across the country. But if I've learned one thing since I graduated, it's that the social challenges we face are ours collectively, because we all live on this earth and we're all connected by what happens here. And because we are all connected, we are all affected. You may not be homeless, but you are affected by homelessness. You may not be sick, but you or someone you know is affected by, or will be affected by, the lack of good, affordable health care in this country. You might not feel marginalized, but we are all affected by intolerance. And to be clear, we have made some progress, but we also have some unfinished business. We ended slavery, but not racism. Same-sex marriage is legal, but anti-trans legislation is exploding. Women got the right to vote, but now may lose the right to choose. Each of us has to ask ourselves two questions in this life. One, what kind of world do you want to live in? And what are you gonna do about it? My answer was to choose a career in public service. I've worked in nonprofit, for-profit, philanthropy, and government, and I found my home in the nonprofit sector at Goodwill of the San Francisco Bay. And you know what I love about working there? I love that our primary purpose is to hire people who need a second chance. That that others won't hire because they were formerly incarcerated, or they're unhoused, or they have limited skills or education levels. I love that we give our items a second life and divert tens of millions of pounds from landfills every single year. And I especially love that the entire community participates in changing people's lives and protecting our planet with one simple act: donating items they no longer need. So I chose a career that allows me to positively contribute to two of the things that I value most: people and our planet. So what do you value? What matters to you? What social challenges are you willing to participate in to help solve? And I'm not here to convince you to take a job in public service, although I would love it if you did. What I am asking, and what I'm asking all of us, is to embrace a public service mindset. Because it doesn't matter where you work or what industry you're in, you can champion something that makes our world better from wherever you sit. You can find something you can do, big or small, for the greater good. And you know what? You don't have to save the whole world. You can simply make a difference in a life. Contrary to what people will tell you, public service is not a selfless sacrifice. It is exactly the opposite. It's in all of our self-interest. It's about focusing on our communities and working collectively to make improvements so we all benefit. It's about creating a world that we want to live in, where there's safety and belonging for all of us. You are graduating into a world with a unique set of challenges, but you're also bringing a unique set of talents, curiosity, energy, creativity, technology, and new thinking to propel us forward. And I believe, in fact, I know that the world is more than ready to listen to you. When I was homeless and sleeping on park benches at 16 years old, the only thing I had was hope. And that is what kept me going. And hope is the one thing you must never lose. And when I say hope, I do not mean frivolous hope, as in wish or fantasy or chance. I am talking about the core of our humanity hope, the hope that drives us to engage with life, the hope that fuels our sense of possibility, the hope we feel when we believe that our life is worth living, that our work is worth doing, and our communities are worth improving. Class of 2022, congratulations. I cannot wait to see how you change the world. Go Bears. Thank you.
It gives me great pleasure to acknowledge awards to some of our very many outstanding graduates. Please rise when I call your name. The Jake Gimbel Prize is awarded to Matthew Sindrick of football. The Anna Espenshad Prize goes to Bryn Zarilla of field hockey. The highest honor the university can give to a student is the University Medal. The following students are the University Medal finalists. Please come forward for your certificate. The University Medal finalists are Claire Beckstoffer, Jonah Ryan Lowndes, Claire Ryder, and Hari Srinivasan. Let's all give them a warm round of applause. It now gives me great pleasure to present the University Medal to the most distinguished graduating senior on the Berkeley campus, Anjika Ganesh Pai. Anjika is graduating with a Bachelor of Science in Environmental Sciences and a minor in music. She completed an honors thesis on rights of nature laws and their capacity to support indigenous sovereignty and environmental stewardship in the United States. She also co-founded STEM Redefined, an organization that promotes diversity, equity, and inclusion in STEM classrooms. In the music department, Anjika created a decal on female composers in Western classical music, as well as performed the rebob, a bowed instrument with the Indonesian gamelan group. After graduating from Berkeley, she'll attend Northeastern University School of Law in Boston. Anjika Ganesh Pai, it's my honor to present you with the University Medal. Congratulations. I'd now like to invite Anjika to say a few words.
Congratulations, graduates. I'm beyond grateful to be here, and I am so excited to share with you my personal love letter to Berkeley. Dear Cal, ours was a forbidden love. My parents kept me away from you for 18 years. My mom and dad, who were accustomed to the perpetually warm, equatorial climate of India, chose to settle down and raise a family in a state that often reaches below freezing temperatures. Their decision made the West Coast a mystery to me, but that only made me want you more. As I studied next to my space heater on winter nights in Pennsylvania, I would loop California Dreamin', and I left my heart in San Francisco, and I would dream of you. Those love songs made me believe that your home could become our home, a place where a golden sun would surely shine above me as I found out who I was truly meant to be. When I committed to you, Berkeley, many of my community members had their own ideas about our relationship. They would say, "You'll become a completely different person, spending all day outside instead of going to class," and warned me earnestly, "Don't turn into a hippie." After all the daydreams of being with you, there was still quite an adjustment period for me when I moved in. Like most out-of-state and international students, I learned quickly about the land and people around me and adapted to your social norms. You had your own history, environment, and population, a couple of skeletons in your closet, but nothing to really worry about, that were so special and distinct. And these features were never adequately described in songs. From the botanical gardens to Doe Library, your beauty was endless, but I fell in love with you for your mission. You carry out a vision to be a university that contributes even more than California's gold to the glory and happiness of advancing generations. There it was, our future together. Together, at the University of California, Berkeley, we achieved firsts and set standards for our nation and for the world. All this to say, those people in my hometown could not imagine how Cal and California would actually change me, as it does to all its graduates. While we have been surrounded by greatness, we have gained the necessary tools to maintain a tradition of building knowledge for the public good. Our renowned faculty, staff, and mentors have taught us to turn every task into an opportunity to not only imagine innovative solutions, but also expand our circle of care and consider a diverse set of perspectives. Every 8 a.m. discussion, every arduous 3-hour lab, every Hertz Hall performance, and every Golden Bears game has brought out the very best in us as we push the boundaries of what is possible. Yet Berkeley, our honeymoon phase eventually came to an end. No matter how many sunsets bathed our skies in cotton candy pink, the rose-colored glasses eventually came off. We endured power outages, N95 masks through smoke days, and awkward in-person instruction transition periods. I saw how you put up a fight to give people what they deserved at times. People like our amazing lecturers and graduate student instructors. We felt the pressures of political turmoil, both in-state and internationally. When I saw what seemed to be the worst of times, it became difficult to believe in my ability to do good. So I sought counseling. After countless lessons in my environmental science classes about the catastrophic, unavoidable effects of climate change, I would ask my professors, "Do you think we'll be able to make it?" Each and every one responded that our generation will be the one to reverse the destruction we have witnessed thus far. But this vote of confidence hasn't been the only thing that has reoriented me towards hope time and time again. It has been the cutting-edge research, the community organizing, and yes, the hippie counterculture of this student body that has shown me the potential to create radical, positive change. Berkeley, I'm leaving you now. This is the hard part, and I've never been on this side of a breakup before. So let me say the usual lines. It's not you, it's me. And there will always be a special place in my heart for you. Maybe we can try long distance, but I've heard that time differences can make that pretty hard. I'm sure I'll see photos of you on Instagram and feel a twinge of jealousy when I see the next class that replaces us. I just need space to grow, and I need to take what I've learned here to keep furthering our mission for future generations. In that way, I suppose it's best for both of us. To my fellow graduates, I am sure that no person and no song could have imagined what all of us have encountered and accomplished here. Through its delightful unpredictability, this 4-year relationship gave us the audacity to believe that we have the power to transform the world for good. I wish that you carry this trait of fearless optimism with you wherever you go. May this spark in you light the way for others. Best wishes, Anjika Pai. Thank you.
Anjika, Berkeley will always love you. Berkeley will always love all of you. Now it is my pleasure to welcome Aneesa Conine-Nakano, President of Cal Student Philanthropy, to the lectern with a special presentation to the university. Aneesa.
Hello, Berkeley graduates and extended Golden Bear families. I am Aneesa Conine-Nakano, President of Cal Student Philanthropy and proud member of the class of 2022. We are an organization that raises awareness around the importance of philanthropy at Cal so that future students will have access to the same great opportunities we had. This last year has felt like a blur, hasn't it? Even through the chaos, I'm so glad that we navigated it together as the class of 2022 and made it to our long-awaited commencement together. Seeing the entire senior class here today, I am reminded of all the gifts I've received at Cal. The gift of a Berkeley education comes to my mind first. To learn from the pioneers of our fields, to work with esteemed faculty on research projects, to pass by the parking spots of Nobel Prize winners on my way to class, I'll always treasure this. Another gift I've experienced is joining organizations I'm passionate about, providing free mental health services through student-to-student peer counseling, building community through cultural exchange in Nikkei Student Union, and keeping Cal golden through Cal Student Philanthropy. All of these experiences have been gifts. However, the most memorable gift is that of us meeting each other. Whether it's because we joined a club together, worked till the last minute on a presentation for our discussion section, or we bumped into each other waiting for waffles at Crossroads, each interaction has been a gift. I've created lifelong friendships and memories thanks to everyone here as a part of the class of 2022. And fortunately, the gifts of Cal keep coming even after commencement. Today, we join a global community of Cal alums, a network of golden bears that will follow us everywhere we go. This community continues to share their gifts with us, providing their mentorship and support and generous donations. This March, we celebrated Big Give, our annual 24-hour fundraiser and campus tradition, which raised nearly $21 million from over 14,700 alums, students, parents, and friends of Cal. It is so reassuring to know that together as a community, we can ensure that the future generations of Golden Bears have the same access to the same gifts we did while at Cal. Just this year, 350 seniors from the class of 2022 came together to raise $36,975 for the next generation. Whether you made a donation, volunteered your time, or helped a fellow bear, these are all forms of giving back that keep Cal golden, and I'm so proud to be part of such a golden class. Congratulations and go Bears! I'm honored to present our class's golden gift to Chancellor Chris today.
Thank you, class of 2022 and Cal Philanthropy for this wonderful gift. It's an honor to accept it on behalf of the university, and it will always make me remember your generosity and your spirit. Thank you.
Hello, Golden Bear graduates and families. How are we feeling today? Come on, you guys. This is surreal. But by way of introduction, my name is Brianna Rivera. I am president of the senior class. And today I have the honor of presenting to you our keynote speaker, Professor and Dr. Randy Schekman. Professor Schekman is a beacon of scientific progress for all of us. He is truly an inspiration for every single person here trying to be the best in their field. I'm incredibly honored to be introducing him today as our keynote speaker. We are incredibly grateful for him. Professor Schekman is a world-renowned cell biologist, a professor in the Department of Molecular and Cell Biology here at UC Berkeley, and an investigator of the Howard Hughes Medical Institute. He received the Nobel Prize in Physiology and Medicine in 2013 for his groundbreaking research on cellular membranes. Born in St. Paul, Minnesota, Schekman moved to Southern California when he was just 10 years old and is a proud product of California's public school system. His passion and enthusiasm for science has spanned nearly his entire life. Schekman was a consistent winner at science fairs as a child. He built a lab in his parents' garage when he was a teenager and fell in love with science while working as a molecular biology lab assistant as a college freshman. The prospect of plumbing the depths of nature with intelligence, intuition, and work piqued the young researcher's interest. Dr. Schekman later applied to teach at numerous universities after completing his undergraduate degree in molecular science at UCLA, studying abroad at the University of Edinburgh, and completing a PhD program at Stanford University. Nevertheless, when it came down to choosing where to teach and establish roots as a professor, Dr. Schekman found his home right here at none other than UC Berkeley. Professor Schekman has won accolades and recognitions that few others in his area have attained. He remains nonetheless an engaged citizen of science, investigating Parkinson's disease therapies and advocating for free universal access to scientific information. Dr. Schekman is nothing short of a pioneer for scientific progress. His research, being of immense value to us all, motivates everyone in this crowd to be change makers and trailblazers in each of our respective fields. And now, please help me give a warm, warm welcome to our keynote speaker, Dr. Randy Schekman.
Chancellor Christ, distinguished guests, faculty, and special students on the stage, but most importantly, graduating seniors and their proud parents and family members, welcome to graduation, my favorite activity of the year. Many people from my generation didn't attend such ceremonies because they were considered too conformist. Of course, I've made up for that almost every year of the 45 I've been on the faculty at Cal, including one year where I was able to introduce my parents, whom I had deprived of my college and PhD ceremonies. Over the years, I've witnessed beach balls being tossed around the Greek Theater, Haas Pavilion, and Zellerbach, a cacophony of air horns, raucous cheering sections, graduates parading across the stage wearing virtually nothing under their robe, and students doing backflips across the stage, though not both at the same time, at least not yet. Congratulations. Most of you are now free to dump all those random facts that you crammed in as recently as a week ago. The operator's manual that comes with your new degree does not call for you to remember the names of the 9 muses, the quadratic equation, or the order of the planets, as Billy Collins memorably noted in his poem Forgetfulness. The fact that ATP is the energy currency of your cells is but a fleeting memory jumbled together with the parties and laughter and regrettably the isolation that no doubt filled your days and nights these past 4 or 5 years. So what was Cal all about, other than as a means to deliver you to the next station in your life? Law school, medical school, graduate school, or work. We like to think you learned something more than the mere facts that filled the hours of lectures and reams of notes. As you walk away from this ceremony, consider where you are now compared to your first days at Cal. If we succeeded, you are now more critical of facts and sources. You will question the truth of common wisdom and ask for the evidence that supports a broad assertion. When a drug company boasts of some new wonder cure, you will remain skeptical unless the facts and controls are spelled out. When you read about a new discovery, you'll want to know what we learned or how a process is more deeply understood, and not simply the practical value of the findings. You will not accept on authority the word of some hotshot professor, even a Cal Nobel Laureate, and certainly not a Stanford professor, if he or she uses his or her position to espouse some unsubstantiated nonsense. We win if your mind is stretched but not filled. And what keeps us going, those of us who do need to remember the amino acids and the genetic code? Why do we fight the battle for research funding, tenure, endless repetition of lecture material, and many of the same questions and concerns about extra points on the regrades? It's the certain knowledge that we will witness year in and year out, the same thrill of understanding displayed on your bright young faces as you march in and out of our classrooms and offices. It's the magic of discovery when a research student is the first to realize some new principle that shines a tiny light on an unexplored corner of a cell or the universe, or to discover and translate a new text, or to reinterpret a well-known bit of history or literature. We keep going because those before us made this institution the finest public university in the country, and it is our obligation to pass this on in even better shape. We do this because the University of California has provided generations of middle and working class families with an opportunity to build a better life. The elite private universities consider their middle class to be the families with an income of as much as $200,000 a year. But 70% of the college students in the U.S. attend public institutions, where family income is much closer to the overall national average. The real world comes to Cal. I'd like to share with you an example of how public education, in this case in Eastern Europe, served to raise a young woman from poverty to the heights of achievement with the key discovery that has saved millions of lives in the current pandemic. This is the story of Kathleen Crosby, a Hungarian emigre who made the breakthrough discovery that led to the development of the mRNA vaccine so many of us have taken to protect against coronavirus infection. Kathleen grew up in a home without running water, a refrigerator, or a television, but with an aspiration to rise above that with an education at the University of Zagreb and a postgraduate degree in biomedical science. Trapped behind the Iron Curtain, she sought refuge in the West and escaped with her husband and young daughter and a teddy bear stuffed with cash that she collected from the black market sale of her car. She landed in the U.S. and began a vagabond journey through various academic institutions until she landed a non-tenure track position at the University of Pennsylvania. There she hoped to realize her dream of a therapeutic application of mRNA, the message copied from genes housed in the nucleus of our cells. mRNAs carry a copy blueprint needed to construct all the protein molecules cells need for life. The plan was to inject an mRNA that would allow cells to produce a protein of clinical importance in treating disease. The problem is that mRNA molecules injected into an animal elicit an inflammatory response that makes them toxic and useless as a therapy. After years of struggle, she failed to gain acceptance and funding for her idea and was dismissed from the university with little prospect of employment. Fortunately, a sympathetic colleague at Penn, Drew Weissman, gave Kathleen a second chance with a lab bench and a collaboration that finally overcame the problem of mRNA toxicity. The team found that some RNA molecules, those that have a variety of chemical modifications, manage to evade the immune system and are safe to inject into an experimental animal. By a trial and error test of the various chemical modifications, Carrico and Weissman discovered that one specific molecular change was enough to hide mRNA from the immune system and allow mRNA molecules to be injected for potential therapeutic application. Despite what we now appreciate as a revolutionary discovery, her work was rejected at the most so-called prestigious journals, but was published in a journal published by a scientific society. Seeking an opportunity to apply her discovery, Kathleen returned to Europe to join a fledgling biotech company that didn't even have a website. In collaboration with two Turkish immigrants to Germany who started the company called BioNTech, and with financial support from Pfizer, the team launched the vaccine simultaneous to the American company Moderna and the rest is history. In the time just after the launch of the vaccine, Carrico's role was finally recognized, and she has been celebrated, along with Weissman, around the world with dozens of major biomedical prizes, almost certainly the Nobel later this year. I had the pleasure of introducing Caitlin at a recent drug discovery symposium, and in the Q&A after her talk, I asked her how she dealt with all the adversity she faced in her life and in gaining acceptance of her ideas. Caitlin remained upbeat throughout and was sustained by the courage of her convictions. In a response that I shall never forget, she said that, quote, "I had my own lab bench and I was in the United States of America." With all that we've faced in the xenophobic reaction to immigrants in this country, her courage and the simple confidence of the statement, "I had my own lab bench and I was in the United States of America," must resonate with many of you here today. I wish to salute the many other immigrant stories we have here today. Let me begin with my life partner and colleague, Professor Sabiha Merchant, who is with me here on the stage, and her mother, Sharifa, out in the audience, who emigrated from India so that Sabiha and her brother could realize the benefit of a great public education at the University of Wisconsin. My grandparents on both sides of my family escaped the pogroms of Eastern Europe to achieve their dream of religious freedom and opportunity that made it possible for me to be here today. I wish also to honor those among us who have taken that long journey to arrive at this moment. And now I call for some audience participation. May I please ask those of our graduating seniors who are the first in their family to attend college to stand and be recognized. Please stand, first in your families. And now, their proud families. Please stand and take appreciation. Their proud families. May I ask those of you here on Pell Grants, recognizing merit and financial need, to stand and be recognized, and your families, please stand. You are the reason the University of California is the most important institution of higher education in the country. The private universities that cater to privilege and entitlement can't hold a candle to what you have achieved to reach this milestone. My journey was made possible by inspired investments in scientific research and public higher education. A key inflection point in the 20th century history of American scholarship and science can be traced to a transformative report, Science, Endless Frontiers, written by Vannevar Bush, the science advisor to Presidents Roosevelt and Truman. Bush wrote, quote, "Scientific progress on a broad front results from the free play of free intellects working on subjects of their own choice in the manner dictated by their curiosity for exploration of the unknown. Freedom of inquiry must be preserved under any plan for government support of science. Opportunities for education in public universities exploded in the 1960s. The space race, initiated by Dwight Eisenhower and John Kennedy, led to a substantially increased federal investment in science and education. In California, Governor Pat Brown and Clark Kerr, his visionary leader of the University of California, created a master plan for higher education that included the construction of new campuses large enough for the children of all of the families of our state to enjoy the nation's finest educational opportunities. I was a direct beneficiary of this investment. I came from a middle-class family where college was an expectation, but money was a concern. No private university for me, but UCLA was great. I paid $270 in fees for my freshman year in 1966, and my room and board at the student co-op amounted to no more than $800 a year. I paid $6.25 for season tickets to watch the Bruins win 3 national basketball championships in a row under the towering leadership of John Wooden and the legendary talent of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. As a freshman, I learned chemistry from Willard Libby, a Cal PhD Nobelist who invented carbon-14 radio dating of ancient biological materials. Working in a research lab as an undergraduate at UCLA stoked my passion for science as a path to discovery of basic cellular processes. I worked a summer job and returned and earned enough to cover my fees, room and board, and books for the full year. My father paid next to nothing to send 5 children through college. At least 80% of the University of California budget at that time was covered by the state, compared to a meager 10% today. Our great public universities continue to educate the majority of our nation's future scholars, scientists, engineers, but the nature of that education has regrettably evolved from a public good to a private commodity funded to an alarming extent by burdensome personal debt. The leaders of our public institutions scramble for resources to provide scholarships for students who in my generation enjoyed an essentially free education. Who will provide the resources to invest in science and research so those students can continue to have a first-class education on par with what they would receive at a private institution? The United States flourishes because of a unique mix of public and private universities that is the envy of the world. I have remained a faculty member here at Berkeley for over 45 years, in part because public universities are the most effective engine of social mobility in our society. At Cal, we lead the nation in elevating students from the lowest 20% of the economic spectrum to the top 1%. And yet now it costs more for a working class student to attend Cal than to attend an elite private university. We owe it to our families, to your younger brothers and sisters, to your children and grandchildren, to reverse this trend so that members of future generations will have access to the same outstanding UC education that you and I have enjoyed. Go Bears!
All right, folks, we're almost there. Remember, you're not officially graduated until you turn that tassel. Just kidding, not really, but come back to your seats before we get there and wrap up the ceremony. It's now my honor to welcome Cal Jazz Choir for a performance of You've Got a Friend in Me.
friend in me. You've got a friend in me. When the road looks rough ahead and you're miles and miles from your nice warm bed, you just remember what your old pal said. Oh, you've got a friend in me. Oh, you've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. You've got your troubles, I've got them too. There isn't anything I wouldn't do for you. We stick together and we see it through, 'cause you've got a friend in me.
Some other folks might be a little bit smarter than I am, bigger and stronger too.
And as the years go by, our friendship will never die. You're gonna see it's all destiny. Oh, you've got a friend in me.
Some other folks might be a little bit smarter than I am, bigger and stronger too. But none of them will ever love you the way I do. It's me and you.
As the years go by, our friendship will never die. You're gonna see it's our destiny. Oh,
You've got a friend in me. Yes,
you've got a friend in me.
All right, one more round of applause for our wonderful jazz choir. This is the moment you've all been waiting for. Let's come back to your seats. How many times in your life do you get to turn that tassel? Yes? So come on, you don't want to miss this moment. Now I ask that all candidates for degrees please rise as you're able for the conferring of the degrees by Chancellor Carol T. Christ. Please rise as you're able.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the President of the University of California, I grant you the degrees of Doctor of Philosophy, Master of Arts, Master of Science, Bachelor of Arts, and Bachelor of Science. Congratulations, graduates! You may now move your tassels from the right to the left side. Please welcome Kathleen Crosby, Vice President of the Senior Class Council of 2022, for closing remarks.
Hi, I would like to begin by thanking the faculty, staff, family, and loved ones who've helped us get where we are today and supported us along the journey. We could have not done it without you. During my freshman year homecoming weekend at Cal, my parents were coming to visit me for the first time. They were excited to see me, see what I've been doing, and see how I've been adjusting to life at Cal.
I had the grand idea to take them to a tailgate before the football game. I wanted them to meet all of my friends and see what life was like for me outside of the library. Well, let's just say my dad was not too thrilled to be drinking a warm beer at 10 a.m. Our time at the tailgate was very limited. As we were walking up to the football game, my dad goes, "Kathleen, wouldn't parents much rather hear what their students are learning in the classroom than attend a party?" He then proceeded to suggest that instead of students tailgating before a football game, we should all gather around and share with our parents what we've been learning in the classroom. I looked at him, rolled my eyes, laughed, and said, "Absolutely not." However, that did not end there. For the next 3 years, he kept bringing that up about this alternative tailgate. Fast forward to this past October, my homecoming weekend of my senior year. Like freshman year, I decided to bring my parents to another tailgate. However, this time, despite my better judgment, I took my dad's advice. I convinced all of my friends to get up in front of our parents and loved ones and share something that we've been learning recently. Not only was it extremely rewarding for the parents, but it was also extremely valuable for me and my friends as well to sit and reflect and share what we have learned recently. I hate to say it, but my dad might have been right. During my time at Cal, I have learned to think critically, be comfortable being uncomfortable, and most important, have realized that there is always something to learn from someone, so make sure to listen up. Therefore, to the class of 2022, I challenge you over these next few days to reflect on what you've learned during your time at Cal. Think about how you will use these skills and knowledge and apply it in these next stages of your life. Cal has equipped you with the tools to be a difference maker in this world, and I want you to all recognize it. Finally, congratulations, class of 2022. This huge accomplishment is just the beginning of the bright future we all have ahead of us. Thank you. And now, please stand as the members of Noteworthy a Capella lead us in Hail to California, the university's alma mater.
Are we good? Let's do this.
What a moment! Thank you again for attending the Class of 22 commencement ceremonies. Congratulations to our amazing graduates and their families. Graduates, please recess to meet your families down by Memorial Glade, and remember to drop off your empty water bottles in the recycling bins on your way out. Guests, please remain in your seats until the recessional has been completed and join your graduates near the Campanile and Memorial Glade. We wish you all a celebratory and safe afternoon, and we are going to end this the proper way. You know what's next. This is your first Go Bears as alums. So I'm going to give you a count of 3. Say Go Bears with me in the loudest, most exuberant voice you've got deep in your gut. And family members, please join us, and friends. 1, 2, 3, Go Bears! Onward and forward, Fiat Lux. Congratulations, class of 22!